The reason why brokies are broke and the reason why scrawny guys are scrawny is because they're not doing enough, right? They know a lot of things, but they don't take the action necessary. Alex Hormozy has a really good way of saying this is that learning actually means being able to take the same stimulus and having completely different action as a result, right? It doesn't matter how much you know if your actions don't reflect that new knowledge, right? You technically haven't learned anything. So a lot of people love to do the mental masturbation. They consume a lot of knowledge. They know how to do marketing. They know how to build a landing page. They know how to do this. They know how to do that. Perfect form in the gym. But it doesn't matter if you don't take action. And my life was one which was completely full of pride. And I was so matrix minded. I was like, oh, I know how to do that. I know how to do that. But at the end of the day, I wasn't taking nearly enough action. And so what I did is I created this bare bones framework that completely eliminates any excuses. It puts it all out there. It takes all of life and puts it into these 6 silos. This is what I call the 60 framework. These are the dimensions of life. You have your spiritual mastery, you have your social mastery, you have your physical mastery, emotional mastery, mental mastery, and financial mastery. This is life. And if you want to take your goals, you want to actually scrunch down your time horizon and look at things very immediately. You want to win as soon as possible. But let's take a goal at 7 days from now. Your 1 week goal, take a 1 month goal, and then take your 1 quarter goals. This is the slice of time that has worked for me because I found that 3 months, I can do anything in 3 months. It's just enough time where I can just put my head down and just do it. That is a really good slice of time that has worked out for me and other people. So here's the 60 framework. Screenshot that, put that on your whiteboard, put that somewhere useful. And let me show you how this has changed my life. So before using that framework, I was a 9-to-5 consultant in DC. I was so matrix minded. You could not believe it. Okay. I went to all the right schools. I was in these programs way back. It was, now to think about it, it's ridiculous. They called it the gifted and talented program. They made you feel a certain way, but in reality, that you were just primed and programmed into being a head down worker. Don't ask questions. Don't do anything creative without being approved. It was ridiculous, right? But what I noticed is that my energy was going down like crazy. I was losing my juice. And around that time, I took a blood test and my free testosterone was this low. I was skinny fat. I was doing all the happy hours I could to feel something, right? Because it turns off your prefrontal cortex, your judging zone, your judgment. And at those times, I was so stressed with work and everything. I looked forward to getting drunk because it turned off my mind. Not very healthy, right? It wasn't just me like this, daydreaming on the metro. There was a lot of people like this. And I would look at people online, which is funny now because I've met them now in person, which is funny. But I used to look at their lives and just be like, oh, I wish I could live like that. It wasn't until I actually created this framework that it actually became possible. And what do I mean by that? This is my testosterone now. It's through the roof. This is war criminal level, almost quadruple digits of testosterone. I could charge a mammoth right now, right? And this is how I feel all the time. I'm electric. I feel like so electric all the time. And I get invites to go all over the world. I live in Madrid now in Spain. I have my dream life. I'm meeting people all over the world. I am in the best shape I've ever been. Every month I get more and more jacked. And it wasn't always like that. And the reason why I could make this happen is because I put everything into an actual actionable framework. And it's the 60 framework. This is not just random, right? You see these colors. This is not random. My mother is an architect and now she, commissions paintings and everything. She taught my brother and I how to understand art and, more importantly, color theory. From a very young age, she taught us colors. And so I actually put a lot of thought into this framework and I use color theory to explain life and these 6 dimensions. The reason why it's called the 60 framework is because these are the 6 dimensions of life. You'll notice that these first 3 are primary colors. You can't get to the secondary colors without mastering the first 3 primary colors. If you just master these first 3, you will get ahead of 90% of people. But if you want to get that extra 9% in, you got to tap into these. I've broken it down this way because it makes the most sense. To get social mastery, for instance, to connect with people, like make friendships, build relationships, whether that's romantic or otherwise, you need to have physical mastery. You need to overcome social and approach anxiety. You also need to master spiritual mastery, be able to recognize and have discernment of whether that's a good person or not. Same thing with financial. Financial is a blend of mental mastery where you accumulate information, you can do recall, you can build upon ideas, dissect ideas, identify fallacies, all that stuff, like mental models. And the spiritual side, because I'm a businessman now. I've been running an AI automation agency for 2 years now, and you come to realize that business is a spiritual game. And so you need these, right? So each one feeds off each other, and you can't really master these without mastering these three first. And so what I've done is on my YouTube, you can find this right now for free. It's all there. I've broken down modules, 3 for each section, completely how to master your life. So if you're interested, check them out. Each of these are like 40 minutes long. And I've actually compiled all of them together into a 9-hour masterclass. So I put it all there together for you. It covers things that are super important, like how to actually see Stoicism as an actionable practice in your life. People talk about Stoicism, but they don't really know Seneca or Aurelius. They just know it as a concept. This is how to actually use it in practice, how to win, how to lose. And then the actual steps that I took to boost my testosterone to the 99th percentile, like how I actually did it. It's all there. How to actually build and put on muscle and keep muscle. There's some lifts that are actually a huge waste of time. This is how to actually do it and keep it. How to cut fat. I'm at 12 to 15% body fat year round, and this is how I do it. Now, I could argue that the spiritual mastery slides are actually some of the most important, because you identify your purpose, why you're here, and there's, again, actionable steps to how to do that. And the financial mastery modules talk about evergreen skills that are always going to be useful, whether there's AI or not, whether it's this century or the next. Things like sales, like how to break into these skills, how to adopt these skills, how to always be able to make money, basically, and how to win in the digital economy, how to build your business and your personal brand. It's all there. I just made it for free for everybody because I wish I had this. And social mastery side, how to make friends with people, key tricks I like to use when I meet brand new people, and then how to understand gender dynamics and connect with women, what they actually want, what they say, what they really mean, all that. And then power dynamics, this is more like the social side. Not many people know this, but my major was political science and national security at Virginia Tech. My university had very strong ties with DC. A lot of my professors were in the CIA and the intelligence community, and I was going to be in the intelligence community. I had internships in embassies and everything, right? I eventually chose to leave that because I was disillusioned after one of these internship experiences. I won't get into it, but it's not for me. I went into management consulting instead, but I learned a lot about people and how to dissect people's minds, how to command the room, all that stuff. So I just put it into these slides for you. And then the emotional mastery, in a very real way, emotions aren't real. I mean that. Emotions is, think of it like a wave. Like if you're in the ocean, you don't have to duck your head in at every wave. You can choose to wade in the water and you can feel the things come and pass. But in a very real metaphysical way, emotions aren't real. Okay? What they are is your perception of those moments. Your perception of anything is the reality. It's not the emotion itself. So I like to think of it as perceptual mastery, but to connect with people and make them understand, like the layman and stuff, I say emotional mastery, but I really do mean perceptual mastery. And so for this, I talk about the in-between. The in-between is a concept I came up with. Most people have point B syndrome. They're in point A and they're always thinking about point B. Like they're in their office, for instance, they're daydreaming about their vacation. And when they finally get to the vacation, they're daydreaming about the next thing. They never live in the moment. And so that moment, the in-betweens, is what makes up your actual life. So to avoid point B syndrome, I made a whole module here of how to actually get through it, exercises, all that. And then unplugging, people talk about, you need to be deprogram yourself. They don't know how to actually do it. I talk about how to actually do it. And then I actually left the third one blank because this is one of the benefits you have from being subscribed to my YouTube is you get inside information. No one else knows this, but I've actually taken this 9-hour masterclass, stacked on even more lessons that couldn't fit there, more things I've learned. A lot of life has happened in the interim, and I'm actually putting it into a text format. I am writing this into a book. And so if you want early access and want to pre-order my book, I'll let you know. In the meantime, follow along. It's going to be built out in the next 6 months or so, but it's really exciting. But I'm finally putting this framework into a book because I feel like it can help a lot more people. But that's what happens. Like once you start building out your life in this methodic framework way, you start connecting with people, because people talk about frequencies and everything, but visualize it like a radio signal. When you're emitting a certain frequency, connecting with a frequency, other people in that frequency can connect with that, right? You don't connect with people down here. You connect with people in that same frequency. And real people are life accelerants, okay? It doesn't make your life marginally better or proportionally better. It makes it exponentially better, because you start connecting and seeing things much further. So I'm very blessed to have used this framework because it's allowed me to connect with super powerful people like this. I've been to Montenegro with this guy in Spain, and it's been an absolute blast. So I wish the same for you. If you're watching this, you need a framework if you want to get ahead of 99% of people. And this is the best framework I've ever put my soul into and my mind into. And I believe in this wholeheartedly. And I am actually putting it into a book format for that reason. And so if you want to get ahead of 99% of people this quarter, in these next 3 months, take this framework, screenshot it, write it down. And this is the color theory that backs it up. Again, if you want to watch each of these, if one of these catches your eye, it's on YouTube. You can go check it out. I put a lot of effort into each of these. If you want the masterclass, it's right here. And I hope you guys have a blessed day, blessed quarter. And if you want more content like this, let me know in the comments, and I'll be sure to break down more concepts with Miro. I use Miro every day for my agency, so appreciate your time. Thank you for letting me do work that I find meaningful. Appreciate you. Peace.